Hey y'all, so today we are making quesadillas and tacos. Okay, first we're gonna get started with our chicken. I just have some organic chicken tenders here. I'm going to season those with some Lowry's seasoned salt. I'm also going to add some garlic, taco seasoning, and I picked this taco seasoning up from Costco. And I'm also gonna add some fresh cracked pepper. This is my seasoning salt. Garlic powder. I'm not gonna add as much of the taco seasoning. Just very little of the taco seasoning. And then I'm gonna add some black pepper. One thing that I forgot, I am gonna add some paprika just to add a little color to it. Okay, so this is my paprika, and this is optional, but it just would add like a nice color to our chicken. And then I'm gonna just mix all of that up together. Just make sure all of those seasonings get throughout our chicken. So for the chicken tenders, I'm gonna add just some grapeseed oil. You can use any type of oil that you have on hand. And then I'm gonna add my chicken. And I'm gonna add all of this chicken in here. I'm gonna start off with my ground chuck. You can use sirloin. I like to use sirloin, but look, this is what was on sale this week. So I'm gonna start off with my ground chuck. Add that in. And I'm also gonna season it pretty much with the same seasoning. I'm gonna add some seasoning salt. I'm gonna add seasoned salt to that, some garlic, and I'm also gonna add some fresh cracked pepper. Not too much seasoning because we're also gonna go in at the end once the meat is done with our taco seasoning. So you don't necessarily have to add a lot of seasoning to your whatever type of, whether you use ground turkey, ground sirloin, ground chuck, ground beef, whatever type of meat you decide to use. So I'm gonna let that cook, and we're gonna move on to the chicken tender. Okay, so while my chicken and my ground chuck is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and start on my taco rice. You want to follow the measurements on the back, and the only thing you're going to add is water and either vegetable oil or margarine. And I don't follow the directions on the back. What I like to do is put my put my water and either my vegetable oil or margarine in the pot. I bring it up to a boil, and then I let it after I bring it up to a boil, I add my rice in there, turn my stove down to low, and I let it cook for 10 minutes, and it comes out perfect every time. I'm gonna flip my chicken really quick. That's looking good. And you're just gonna cook it. Well, the cooking time depends on how big your chicken is, whether you're using chicken breast or chicken tenders. It just depends. So I'm gonna flip those over. And if you feel like you need to add some more oil to the pan, you can. My ground chuck is cooking away over here, and I am gonna drain this grease off. It seems like when I use the ground sirloin, it's not as greasy, but if I use like the grass-fed beef, it's not as greasy. So if you and I usually buy that, but it wasn't on sale this week, and I just ended up getting the ground chuck this week. But I rarely do use the ground chuck just because I like the ground sirloin or the grass-fed beef better than the ground chuck. But it's a personal preference. It still comes out the same way. Okay, so our chicken is ready. I'm gonna show you the way I like to test out my chicken. If you can do it like this, if you can kind of mash it and it's soft, then you know it's ready. If you get like some pushback from your chicken, it's not ready yet. So we're gonna take the chicken out and sit it to the side, and then I'm gonna add my vegetables in this pan. Okay, so I've drained my ground chuck. Now I'm gonna go in with my taco seasoning. I'm gonna add that in, and I also added like a half cup of water. That would depend, the amount of water that you add would depend on if you like your mixture a little runny, or if you like it more on the thicker side. So I'm gonna add my taco seasoning in. You can just, season it to your taste. I also like to go in with this taco sauce, and to me it just adds more flavor to it. I'm gonna cover this and allow it to simmer for about 10 minutes.
Take it personal, I ain't lying, I ain't hiding, I've been grinding, multiplying. I've been trying to get my weight up, staying prayed up, meditating and taking time away. You always posting up pictures, trying to look like you winning. I'm writing rhymes in the kitchen, soaking in moments we live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be we just building. It's my season, lay foundation, make a name for generations. Please and make a, then take a break or a little vacation and chasing blues away. You always posting up pictures, Trying to look like you winning, or look like you always be working. Soaking the moments you live in, yeah. You got the nerve to be on me, faking your life for the IG. If you got my number, don't add me, cause baby, I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. I'm on hiatus. Baby, don't check for me. Taking time out to be and live my life.
In the same pan that I cooked the chicken in, I'm just gonna add my vegetables to that, and I do not clean this because you want to get that flavor that the chicken had, and I forgot when I put it into this pan that I did not need that. So I'm just gonna add in my onions and my peppers, and you can use any kind of onions and peppers. You can use the green, you can use the green peppers, but I just use the orange, yellow, and red because I already had those. So you can cook these as long as you want to cook them. If you want them more on the al dente side with a little crunch, you cook it less time. Of course, if you like yours softer, you're gonna cook it longer. And it's just gonna absorb, as you can see, it's already absorbing all of those seasonings and flavor from the chicken tenders. And you really don't have to add any more oil or butter or anything like that, because vegetables, they already have water in them. So once you start to cook them, they will kind of release that liquid in them. So you really don't have to worry about adding any other water.
Just give it up. I'm not your girl and I never will be. Don't call me up. Don't waste your time, cause I'll be your enemy. If you want love.
Alright, so now I'm gonna get started on our quesadillas. I'm gonna add butter. You can add oil if you want to add oil to your pan, but I'm gonna start off with adding butter for the quesadillas. Of course, you have to have your flour tortillas. Oh, mine is broken. I'm gonna add that in. And then whatever filling you want, I'm gonna add just some cheddar cheese, some of the Mexican cheese in there, as well as mozzarella cheese. I'm also going to add in some rice. Now you can add chicken. This is mine, so I'm not adding chicken to mine. I'm just going to add the rice and the vegetables and the black beans. So I'm going to go in now. My husband's quesadilla, I'm going to add meat on his, but I'm not going to add meat on mine. And then I'm just going to add the peppers. Now if you want peppers, not peppers, if you want to add any other kind of like the jalapeno peppers, you can add those as well. Pretty much any filling that you want to add, you can add in there. For my next tortilla, I like to go ahead and add my butter, and you want to use softened butter or margarine for this. That just makes it easier. You already have your the other side. Once you flip it, it'll already have the butter on it, and you just add that in on top. See how it's looking on the opposite side, and you want to just try to flip it as fast as you can. And depending on your sometimes the tops, as you can see on this one, sometimes they are different sizes, but I mean it don't matter. Let me just try to get it moved over just a little bit, okay? So as you can see, that color that we have on there from the butter. And once I get done with this one, I'll show you how I put my husband's together. It's basically going to be the same with the exception that I'll be adding chicken to his.
7 days and 7 hours since I last heard your voice. I know that you felt like you didn't have the choice, and I don't blame you. No, I don't blame you. I know I've been a fool, but baby, believe me when I say to you, yeah, yeah, you can change your mind, change your mind.
Alright, so this is how a quesadilla is looking, and you just want to make sure it's nice and crispy and all of your cheese is melted. That's how this is looking. I'm going to show y'all this. I'm gonna show you the inside too. So that's how it's looking on the That's how it's looking on the inside. So that's our quesadilla. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out in the kitchen with me today. I did forget to show you how I put this tray together. Next time I make a cooking video, I will remember to show you all how I put everything together. And yeah, so that's it for this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.